Chapter 1426. Feng Jiugu retreats. Roar! Fang Yuan opened his dragon mouth and shot out his sword-light dragon breath. The dragon breath was like waves of silvery lightning, shooting out towards Feng Jiugu at incredible speed. Feng Jiugu continued to dodge with Yang Pastun, but usually after he uses Yang Pastun killer move, it would imply that Song Warrior was up next. Both sides fought from underground to the sky. They fought as they retreated and advanced. The dragon roared as drums rolled. Green Jade Song Warrior. Along the way, Feng Jiugu summoned a clone. The Jade clone charged at the ancient sword dragon. Feng Jiugu relied on Yang Pastun to gain an advantage in movement, and with his rich battle experience and calm analytical mind, he did not fail the activation of a single killer move. Fang Yuan snorted internally. He charged at Feng Jiugu without feeling distracted. Feng Jiugu knew that the green Jade Song Warrior was not Fang Yuan's match. It could not break his reverse flow protection seal in the first place. Without getting past this, there was no way of defeating Fang Yuan. Thus, Feng Jiugu controlled the Green Jade Song Warrior mainly to distract Fang Yuan. The Green Jade Song Warrior was like a fly moving around Fang Yuan, disrupting his movements. After a while, Fang Yuan could not take the disturbance anymore and turned around to deal with the Green Jade Song Warrior. Feng Jiugu's pupil shrank. Fang Yuan had changed targets too quickly, but Feng Jiugu responded rapidly as well. Fang Yuan arrived at the Green Jade Song Warrior, the huge ancient sword dragon body against the small Green Jade Song Warrior. The dragon roared as intense winds blew. Its ruthless dragon claws slashed at the Green Jade Song Warrior. Cracks started to surface on the Green Jade Song Warrior's body. There was a crisp sound as it was sent flying like a cannonball, but the Green Jade Song Warrior was not on the verge of breaking down yet. It was still able to fight. Crafty. Fang Yuan snorted coldly to end the earlier skirmish. The Green Jade Song Warrior did not attack. It was taking hits passively. Thus, reverse flow protection seal could not reflect any attacks back to it. Just the ancient sword dragon's claws alone could not shatter the Green Jade Song Warrior. After all, Feng Jiugu had rank 8 level down marks. The Green Jade Song Warrior's defense was at the top of his Song Warriors. After sending the Green Jade Song Warrior flying, Fang Yuan turned to Feng Jiugu. But at this time, Feng Jiugu had already unleashed his second Song Warrior, Heaven and Earth Song Warrior. After dozens of rounds, Feng Jiugu continued to dodge with Yang Pastun, while summoning Song Warriors to fight Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan fought against 5 enemies, but he was still energetic and full of fighting spirit. Feng Jiugu could not help but retreat continuously. What is going on? Fang Yuan was at his limit activating reverse flow protection seal last time. But now, he can maintain both reverse flow protection seal and ancient sword dragon transformation while fighting for such a long time, and he is still not at his limit. Feng Jiugu had a deep gaze. He purposely used Song Warrior to create a complex battle environment so that Fang Yuan would need to think constantly and expend his thoughts to deal with these problems. If Fang Yuan was barely using these 2 killer moves, he would not have enough thoughts in his mind. He would not be able to display such great strength now. This means he had an incredible breakthrough in terms of sustaining killer moves. Feng Jiugu guessed at this moment. Fang Yuan's body shook. Feng Jiugu was paying great attention to Fang Yuan. He saw this and turned joyful. Don't tell me he reached his limit? But at the next moment, Feng Jiugu tossed this thought away into the bin, because Fang Yuan activated a mortal killer move, Myriad Dragon. At once, dragons flew and formed into a silvery sea. Their aura was grand and imposing. It was a terrifying sight that a scene similar to earlier appeared again. Myriad dragons flew as the 4 Song Warriors were encircled and attacked. The 4 Song Warriors were outmatched and destroyed. Feng Jiugu ignored them. He used Yang Pastun to escape from the Myriad Dragon's range. Yang Pastun's time limit was not up yet. Feng Jiugu had a lot of room to maneuver. Then what about this move? He looked at the Myriad Dragon group. Fang Yuan was mixed inside. He could not be found. Next, Feng Jiugu placed his right palm on his left chest, by his heart. Next, his 5 fingers strung on his chest, creating light and deep drumming sounds. Thud, thud, thud. The drumming continued, spreading to the entire battlefield. Feng Yuan did not need to discern who Fang Yuan was among the dragons. Because this immortal killer move was an area attack, it had a huge range. Fang Yuan was within the range of the attack. He was immediately affected. His heart started pounding as he felt his momentum going out of control. Fang Yuan was shocked. After all, he had reverse flow protection seal's defense, but he could not block this immortal killer move. No, most of the effect of the killer move was reflected back. Only a small bit penetrated the seal and got to me. It seems that Heavenly Court has obtained some gains in deciphering reverse flow protection seal killer move. Fang Yuan sighed internally. There was no helping it. He had already used reverse flow protection seal multiple times. Heavenly Court had wisdom path great experts like Fairy Ziwei, together with star constellation chessboard. It was not strange she had such advancement. Boom, boom, boom. Following the loud sounds, the dragons around Fang Yuan started to self-detonate, exploding into nothingness. This immortal killer move chaotic heart-drumming sound was given to me by Heavenly Court. It has wisdom. Path effects. Once hit by it, the Gu Immortals' thoughts will be disrupted. Their killer moves would not be sustainable. Fang Yuan, how long can you last? Feng Yuan was in anticipation. An impressive killer move. It was designed to target me. Fang Yuan considered the effects of this incredible move. Right now, in the sovereign immortal aperture, large numbers of human-shaped myriad self-clones were self-detonating. The number of clones destroyed surpassed the number of his myriad dragons. Looking at them, the myriad self-clones were different from before. Their appearance was much more lively, and they even had vivid expressions to this moment. They were sitting on the ground, thinking deeply. After being hit by chaotic heart-drumming sound, these myriad self-clones self-detonated as they turned into white smoke and faded. After adding in self-will, these myriad self-clones gained wisdom path cognition, but this made them susceptible to Feng Yuan's killer move. Fang Yuan placed a portion of his attention into the sovereign immortal aperture. Looking at his losses, almost every breath of time, dozens of myriad self-clones died. However, these vanishing myriad self-clones were not harmed by Feng Yuan's killer move. Most of them died from sustaining my reverse flow protection seal and ancient sword dragon transformation. When I activated myriad dragon earlier, 1,000 of my myriad self-clones died after all. That's right. The reason why Fang Yuan was able to use reverse flow protection seal along with other killer moves was because of these myriad self-clones in the sovereign immortal aperture. All along, Fang Yuan had been troubled by this. Even though reverse flow protection seal was powerful, it took too much of his concentration and mental energy. While fighting against Feng Yuan, he was inspired by Song Warrior. He had an idea. I also have myriad self-clones. If I can make these clones think, for me, my battle strength would rise sharply. There were two difficulties in achieving this. The first problem was that myriad self-clones could not think. To think, he would need to use wisdom path thoughts, wills, or emotions. The second problem was that even with a large number of thoughts, wills, and emotions, after dispersing them into his clones, it could not collectively benefit him alone. Fang Yuan's first breakthrough in this was using self-love immortal Gu and affection immortal Gu. These two were very compatible. Fang Yuan supplemented them with a few mortal Gu to form an immortal killer move that produced a vast amount of self-will. Second difficulty was solved by Fang Yuan using a method from Purple Mountain True Monarch's inheritance. Immortal killer move. Collective thinking. Of course, even though these two problems were solved, Fang Yuan still had to rely on his Wisdom Path Grandmaster attainment level to modify Myriad Self to a whole new level. Feng Yuan, your killer move is not enough. Fang Yuan snickered in his heart. Because he had prepared amply before the battle, he had prepared more than 1,000,000 myriad self-clones in his sovereign immortal aperture. The death of a few thousand was inconsequential. Immortal killer move. 3 breaths future vision. Immortal killer move. Myriad dragon. Immortal killer move. Sword marks targeting death. At once, the aura of countless goo worms emerged from Fang Yuan's body. These auras were messy and disorganized. Countless mortal goo and a large number of immortal goo flew out and created a grand arrangement. How can this be? Feng Yuan was utterly shocked. Fang Yuan can use so many immortal killer moves at the same time. He was completely taken aback that it was unimaginable. He had always thought that Fang Yuan could only barely activate 2 or 3 killer moves. He was at his limit already. But seeing this now, Feng Jiuge finally realized that Fang Yuan's improvement in this aspect was so huge that it went beyond his imagination. This weakness that Fang Yuan had earlier was no longer a weakness. It was a huge strength that he had now. There were many clones remaining from the first Myriad Dragon Killer move. After using it again, a silvery sea of dragons appeared again. 3 breaths future vision allowed Fang Yuan to have sharp senses, while sword marks targeting death was boosted by his sword path down marks. It was a huge threat to Feng Jiuge as well. Feng Jiuge gritted his teeth. He advanced instead of retreating, charging into the dragon group. Bam, bam, bam. A thunderous explosion resounded in the surroundings. Feng Jiuge rampaged within the myriad dragon group that he was increasingly shocked now. It was not a fluke. Fang Yuan has complete control now. He has not even used his full strength yet. I cannot stay here. I need to leave. While Yang Pastun was still activated, Feng Jiuge decided to retreat. He was actually forced to retreat by Fang Yuan alone. Chapter 1427. Planning to obtain Red Lotus True Meaning. Chapter 1427. Planning to obtain Red Lotus True Meaning. The orange light shone on Feng Jiuge and faded immediately. This meant that Feng Jiuge's immortal killer move, Yang Pastun, had reached its time limit. He had to wait 14 hours to use it again now. But that was not important. Feng Jiuge had already left the battlefield. Yang Pastun's time limit no longer mattered. This central continent genius rarely seen in 1,000 years landed on the ground slowly as he looked at the sky. He still had an elegant face, but he was frowning now. A long while later, he sighed deeply. Truly an amazing person. He was naturally not talking about himself, but Fang Yuan instead. Some time ago, Fang Yuan was still an ant in Feng Jiuge's eyes. Not long ago, even though Fang Yuan gathered the strength of a group of immortals, he could not match Feng Jiuge. He had to retreat. But in the earlier battle, Feng Jiuge was outmatched and had to retreat from the battlefield. This change was too rapid. Feng Jiuge could not believe it even now. Fang Yuan had deep foundations to begin with. He was reborn from the future and possesses spring-autumn cicada, giant sun's true inheritance, and is now the leader of Shadow Sect, possessing spectral soul demon venerables accumulation. He is like a dormant volcano. Given enough time, he would erupt with lava that gushes towards the heavens. His eruption this time was not a fluke. It was bound to happen. Such a person truly needs to be killed with all our strength to prevent future trouble. But Heavenly Court is trying to make use of him to obtain Red Lotus True Inheritance. This is quite unwise. For the first time, Feng Jiuge felt doubts and disagreement with Heavenly Court's plan. In Heavenly Court, Fairy Ziwei was thinking. She watched the earlier battle through Feng Jiuge. Fang Yuan's battle strength surged. Not only did Feng Jiuge feel shocked, even this great wisdom path great expert was startled that a similar emotion to Feng Jiuge emerged in Fairy Ziwei as well. Fang Yuan's foundation was too deep. He was related to 3 venerables. And with his rebirth advantage, he only spent a number of years to become a Gu immortal from a mortal. And more than that, after the earlier battle, he fought Feng Jiuge evenly. He was someone that even rank 8 existences could not ignore. His improvement was too rapid that if he only had fortuitous encounters, like Ma Hongyun, so be it. That was not worth worrying over. The scary thing was Fang Yuan's personality, such a demonic path cultivator with deep ambitions. Along with his lack of any weak point in morality, he had always worked his hardest without giving up or feeling dejected. He could endure hardship and could keep a low profile to achieve his goals, taking no account of sacrifices or immoral methods. That it was hard to imagine what experiences turned him into this person. Since rebirth, Fang Yuan had been mostly under Heaven's will's control. After the Battle of Etian Mountain, he tried to leave the grasp of Heaven's will, but he exposed himself in the dream realm. His cultivation journey has always been filled with difficulties and hurdles. If he is given some time to cultivate in peace, his growth and strength would be unimaginable. Wariness. Fairy Ziwei started to feel a trace of wariness towards Fang Yuan in her heart. Fang Yuan's existence was a threat to her now. She wanted to eliminate him. The earlier she could eliminate him, the better. Thinking like this, Fairy Ziwei's killing intent rose sharply. Ziwei, don't be so nervous. At this moment, a low voice entered Fairy Ziwei's ears. She had a deep impression of this voice. She turned around and saw Duke Long indeed. Lord Duke Long, you are out of seclusion? Fairy Ziwei was surprised and overjoyed. Duke Long smiled. Yes. That means Spectral Soul has been. That's right. I suppressed him completely already. But it is troublesome to soul search him. I need some time to have any effect. Duke Long smiled lightly. Fairy Ziwei had a happy expression. Her eyes were shining with life. Such great news made her mood better. She was no longer as stressed as before. Duke Long continued. Compared to Red Lotus True Inheritance, Fang Yuan is really nothing. But he is a complete otherworldly demon. Fairy Ziwei hesitated. That is because you do not understand Red Lotus Demon Venerable. Duke Long sighed. Deep feelings were contained in his words. Red Lotus set up 7 true inheritances, but our heavenly court could not find one with all our efforts. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable obtained one of them. As long as we have this clue, we can find the rest of Red Lotus true inheritances and get rid of them all. I understand, Lord Duke Long. Fairy Ziwei had a solemn gaze. We have a time path rank 8, Feng Jiugo, and 2 more rank 8s in the River of Time now. What do you think of that? Duke Long smiled. You are the Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster, not me. I am assured if you are the person arranging it. Next, I will mentor the Great Era's Great Dream Immortal Venerable. Oh right, announce to the world that we have captured Spectral Soul alive. Heavenly Court has stayed silent for too long. It is time for the world to know that Heavenly Court will always be the #1 super force in the world. I understand. Fairy Ziwei sighed deeply, watching as Duke Long took his leave. Western Desert. Inside the self-cleansing immortal goo formation, Fang Yuan was concentrating in the sovereign immortal aperture. Inside the immortal aperture, there was also an active immortal goo formation. Compared to the self-cleansing formation, this immortal formation was far smaller. But it still had 2 core immortal goo. Point 1 was a wisdom path immortal goo from Purple Mountain True Monarch's inheritance. The other was bloodline. Immortal goo from Wu clan. Along with thousands of mortal goo, an immortal goo formation was formed, blood red immortal essence formation. Large numbers of immortal essence stones were sent into the immortal formation and turned into red date immortal essence beads rapidly. Fang Yuan was replenishing his immortal essence storage in the earlier battle. Even though he forced Feng Jiugu to retreat, he had expended a lot of immortal essence. His biggest expenditure came from Reverse Flow Protection Seal, followed by Myriad Dragon. The new Myriad Self-Killer move also had higher expenditure than before, because he was using Self-Love Immortal Goo and Affection, these 2 immortal goo, to produce self-wills. This was not a disadvantage. Stronger immortal killer moves used more immortal essence. It was common sense. But this was Fang Yuan's weakness. Fang Yuan had become a rank 7 only recently. He did not have much accumulation. Because of worries about the immortal aperture's calamities and tribulations, his immortal aperture's rate of time had also slowed to its limit. Blood red immortal essence formation was very efficient. Soon, Fang Yuan used up all of the immortal essence stones he obtained from Wu clan. Fang Yuan also sent the immortal essence stones he obtained from Langya sect into the blood red immortal essence formation. His red date immortal essence storage gradually rose again. My battle strength rose. I am on par with Feng Jiugu now. The only flaw is that Myriad Self needs prior preparation. If I am caught in a surprise battle, it would be a problem. Against Feng Jiugu, Fang Yuan could take a risk and activate Myriad Self in battle. But against rank 8 Goo Immortals, Fang Yuan would need to use Reverse Flow Protection Seal immediately. That way, if he activated Reverse Flow Protection Seal without Myriad Self's help, he could not use other killer moves anymore. He would only be able to take a beating passively. When the investigative killer move is completely removed, I should head to the tributary of the River of Time and obtain Red Lotus True Inheritance. Even though Spectral Soul Demon Venerable took that true inheritance, the true meaning of Red Lotus in it is endless. If I can obtain it, I will raise my time path attainment level to at least Grandmaster level. In Shadow Sects information, Western Desert had two tributaries of the River of Time in their control, but earlier, Fang Yuan already used up one to set a trap for Heavenly Court. Only one was left now, and this tributary of the River of Time was Fang Yuan's target now. Right now, Central Continent was somewhere Fang Yuan could not enter. As for Southern Border, he was currently pursued by Wu Clan and others. In Northern Plains, Longevity Heaven and the Huang Jin tribes would attack him. Only in Western Desert and Eastern Sea did Fang Yuan have less pressure moving about. Of course, he could go to Eastern Sea, but to get there, he would need to get past either Central Continent, Northern Plains, or Southern Border. Eastern Sea had tributaries of the River of Time, but compared to going there, Fang Yuan might as well try to use the one in Western Desert instead. Chapter 1428. Fishing for Year Beasts. This sky was extremely wide. It was filled with bright red light, as if the entire sky was filled with an aurora. Originally, there was nothing here, but now, a giant immortal goo formation was floating around. This immortal goo formation gave off the grand aura of time path. It was evidently a time path immortal goo formation. Inside this formation, Fang Yuan, Bai Ning Bing, He Lu Lan, Fairy Miao Yin, Lady White Rabbit, and Ing Wu Xie were waiting vigilantly. This time path immortal goo formation had been activated for a long time. It used rank 7 year goo as the core, with supplementary rank 8 time path immortal goo years flow like water. Not all immortal formations cores were necessarily the higher rank goo. For example, this immortal goo formation had rank 8 years flow like water as the supplementary immortal goo instead. This immortal goo formation came from He Fan's true inheritance. Its main purpose was to connect with the tributary of the River of Time in the immortal aperture, sending out the aura of rank 7 year goo and rank 8 years flow like water to lure in year beasts. This immortal formation was named as the Immemorial Year Beast Fishing Formation by He Fan. The name was quite interesting. Others fished for fish, while He Fan fished for year beasts, and in fact, he went after immemorial year beasts. Ever since He Fan created rank 8 years flow like water, he had learned about the flaw of this immortal goo. Its aura was too tempting to immemorial year beasts. It could possibly cause immemorial year beasts to enter his immortal aperture by following the scent of the immortal goo using the tributary of the River of Time. Thus, He Fan tried many ways and thought of many solutions. He first thought of the time path immortal goo formation that Fang Yuan had used earlier on Feng Jiugu, causing him to be trapped in the River of Time. This formation could destroy the tributary of the River of Time and sealed the time in his immortal aperture to prevent immemorial year beasts from coming in. However, there was a huge weakness in that. Once the time no longer moved, all resources could not grow. Goo worms also could not be used in the immortal aperture, because activating any goo worm needed time, even if it was only an instant. Any progress required time. Thus, once this method was used, the goo immortal would have to move the goo worms out of the immortal aperture and host them in their body. This was very dangerous, especially in battle. It was easy for them to get destroyed by the enemy. He Fan was extremely talented. He created this move only as a last resort. But he was not satisfied with it. He continued researching that he soon found that as long as an immemorial year beast lived in his immortal aperture, other immemorial year beasts would sense it and think that this was the territory of the immemorial year beast. Even if years flow like water was extremely attractive, other immemorial year beasts would not try and barge in. Thus, He Fan first thought of a way to mimic the aura of an immemorial year beast. But his transformation path attainment level was just ordinary. He did not succeed. Next, he considered nurturing his own immemorial year beasts. But his grotto heaven was not large. It was already filled with resources. It was hard to create an environment for an immemorial year beast to live. Furthermore, to nurture an immemorial year beast, he would need to start by raising ancient year beasts. Treasure Yellow Heaven did not sell immemorial year beasts after all, and this process needed too much time. He Fan already had little lifespan left at that time. Both ways did not work. He Fan thought of another way. He wanted to use years flow like water to summon an immemorial year beast as his slave. Therefore, he created an immortal killer move. His enslavement path attainment level was at Grandmaster. It was not as bad as transformation path, he managed to create year beast summoning. But this killer move could only summon ancient year beasts. It was not easy to attract immemorial year beasts.At. The final moments of his life, he created immemorial year beast fishing formation. This immortal goo formation could attract immemorial year beasts, but could not control them. He was merely fishing and not summoning. The immemorial year beasts fished could not be controlled. Fang's original concept was to summon an immemorial year beast under his manipulation. Even after his death, he did not achieve his goal. It was quite a shame that if he had more time, he might have succeeded. Beauty could not withstand the trials of time. The truth was, even geniuses were the same. If Fang Yuan had time, he would follow Fang's idea and progress along this route. In time, he would be able to create an immortal killer move that directly summoned immemorial year beasts. This was a true inheritance. The inheritor would take over the predecessor's true inheritance, and instead of just mimicking it, they would refine and improve upon the details within, adding in their own flavor to the inheritance before passing it on again. A true inheritance was not just a gift. One had to contribute as well. However, Fang Yuan had no time to improve the true inheritance now that he needed to use this immemorial year beast fishing formation to lure an immemorial year beast. Before using the killer move 180 slaves to forcefully subdue it. If Fang had 180 slaves, he would have obtained an immemorial year beast. It is too dangerous for me to go to the River of Time now. Not only is it a dangerous place, Heavenly Court might have some arrangements there. Earlier when Fang Yuan trapped Feng Jiugu, sending him into the River of Time, Feng Jiugu managed to escape in the end, but Fang Yuan had his gains from this. Feng Jiugu managed to survive. It might be due to his own ability or Heavenly Court's arrangements inside the River of Time. No matter which one, when I enter the River of Time, the worst case is that I will be obstructed and attacked by them. And inside the River of Time, I have no territorial advantage. I am not adept at fighting in it, unless I have an immemorial year beast to defend and ensure my safety. Fang Yuan planned meticulously. He was not going to put himself in danger. He needed ample preparation. Chirp, chirp, chirp. At this time, sound came from the tributary of the River of Time. It seems that an immemorial year beast was finally lured in. Fang Yuan's eyes shone. He quickly activated the immortal goo formation. Inside the goo formation, the tributary of the River of Time manifested. A huge monkey was observing the goo formation through this tributary of the River of Time. It had huge eyes with the size of an elephant. It peeked through the tributary of the River of Time like it was a small peephole, observing the scene behind the door. Inside this darkness, the immemorial year monkey could not find Fang Yuan and the rest. Its gaze was completely stuck to years flow like water. Once it saw the rank 8 immortal goo, the immemorial year monkey's appetite rose. It started salivating. Year beast's 8-year goo as food. While years flow like water, immortal goo could produce year goo. The immemorial year monkey saw years flow like water. It was the same as seeing a buffet with never-ending food. Chirp, chirp, chirp. It started to jump around in the River of Time while scratching its ears and body. Next, it breathed in deeply and attempted to enter Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. Year beasts had the ability to travel from the River of Time to anywhere in the world. Fang Yuan used year beast summoning earlier. He summoned them from the River of Time. These year beasts were able to come out and enter the battlefield immediately as long as the River of Time flows in that area. Year beasts could enter. Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture was no exception, but entering it was harder than going to the 5 regions and 2 heavens. Once space tore open, the immemorial year monkey stretched out its 2 arms. Next, its furry arms pulled outwards, creating a huge hole. The colossal immemorial year monkey squeezed its way in. My sovereign immortal aperture is only a blessed land, but it can already contain immemorial year beasts. But for the immemorial year beast, this cage is too small. It is very inconvenient to enter or leave. Seeing this, Fang Yuan felt great joy. Since it was hard to enter or leave, when they fight, the immemorial year monkey would not be able to escape easily. After the immemorial year monkey entered, the space behind it mended. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The immemorial year monkey growled as it sniffed, smelling years flow like water's strong and dense aura. It pounced at the immortal formation, rumble. The immortal formation had strong defenses. Even though the immemorial year monkey slammed into it, it did not shake. Back then, Fang designed this formation. He naturally considered this situation. Chapter 1429, Gaining Another Rank 8 Battle Strength. The immemorial year beast fishing formation had strong defenses. It remained unmoved by the immemorial year monkey's attack. But this intensified the immemorial year monkey's fighting spirit. Boom, boom, boom. It raised its fists and slammed down. Its fists were like shooting stars, landing on the immortal formation each time. The immortal formation started shaking. The interior was having tremors. Each attack by the immemorial year monkey caused large numbers of mortal goo to be destroyed. White Rabbit, He Lulan, and Ingwu Xie. They were rapidly replenishing mortal goo. Some goo formations would break apart after losing 10% of its goo worms. Better goo formations would still remain intact even if half were destroyed. But the immemorial year beast fishing formation would remain intact as long as the core immortal goo was still around. And if it had 60% of its goo worms left, but its defense would collapse eventually, Fang Yuan could not allow the immemorial year monkey to continue attacking it. Immortal Killer Move, by Xiang. At the next moment, a crack opened in the immortal goo formation as Bai Ningbing flew out rapidly. Boom. She was extremely fast, shooting out like an ice arrow towards the immemorial year monkey. Both were quite close together to begin with, and because of Bai Ningbing's speed, the immemorial year monkey could not react in time. Its throat was immediately struck by Bai Ningbing. The immemorial year monkey took a small step back. It felt pain and growled. It grabbed towards Bai Ningbing with its huge hands. Instantly, Bai Ningbing felt her vision turn dark as two huge monkey hands approached to slam down on her, casting dark shadows. Bai Ningbing was not fazed. She snorted as she flew away. The immemorial year monkey's hands slammed from above, while Bai Ningbing flew out from under its crotch. Originally, with her speed, she could definitely escape the monkey, but strangely, the moment she got to the immemorial year monkey's stomach, she was caught. The immemorial year monkey grabbed with its hands, holding Bai Ningbing like a crystal ball. Next, it gripped tightly before extending its palms after some grinding. If Bai Ningbing was in her normal body, she would have turned into meat paste. But she had used the killer move by Xiang already. She had turned into a 5-meter-tall snow giant. She wore ice armor and had 3 heads and 6 arms. She was barefooted and stood on 2 pale blue clouds. The immemorial year monkey opened its palms. Bai Xiang was already crushed to bits. Chirp, chirp. The immemorial year monkey saw that its enemy was eliminated. It laughed happily as it threw away the ice in its hands, before slamming at the immortal goo formation again. The bits and pieces of Bai Xiang floated in the air, slowing gathered with the wind, and in a few breaths' time, the complete Bai Xiang had recovered, returning to a 5-meter giant. This was the profundity of the killer move by Xiang. Bai Ningbing, who had turned into Bai Xiang form, was no longer contained in a flesh body. Even if she had a fingernail-sized piece of ice left, she could instantly return back to the giant form. But this time, not only did my flying speed fall, my Bai Xiang's recovery speed has fallen too. Bai Ningbing thought as she flew towards the immemorial year monkey again. Immemorial year beasts had plentiful time path down marks in their bodies. Their actions had time path effects. They could carve time path down marks in the surroundings. They were not a force to trifle with. Immortal killer move. Penetrating ice blade. Boom. The ice blade filled with frost energy landed on the immemorial year monkey's shoulder, but could not pierce into its skin. Compared to the huge immemorial year monkey, the ice blade was like a tiny fruit knife. The immemorial year monkey caught Bai Ningbing again. She tried to dodge, but failed again. But no matter how many times she was destroyed, as long as fragments of her body remained, she would rapidly recover. Of course, they had already checked that the immemorial year beast did not have any wild immortal goo. Otherwise, Bai Ningbing would not be so daring as to challenge the immemorial year beast's battle. Strength. The immemorial year monkey had a large number of wild mortal goo, but these goo worms were nothing to Bai Ningbing. The true threat was the immemorial year monkey itself. After a dozen rounds, Bai Ningbing got progressively slower, and Bai Xiang was taking longer to recover. In contrast, the immemorial year monkey was barely injured. There was some frost on its body, but it easily shrugged it off. Bai Ningbing's attacks could penetrate its skin, but the immemorial year beast's recovery speed was too strong. It completely healed in a few breaths' time. Even Bai Ningbing was feeling a little dejected. She felt like she was an annoying fly buzzing around the immemorial year monkey. Most of its attention was still on the immortal formation. Boom, boom, boom. Often, the immemorial year monkey would ignore Bai Ningbing's attacks as it slammed down on the immortal goo formation. This immemorial year beast has great strength. Fang Yuan observed the battle and concluded, like how rank 8 goo immortals differed in strength, the same went for immemorial year beasts. This immemorial year monkey had incredible strength. Bai Ningbing could not deal any major damage even if she used her full strength. Even though Bai Ningbing had incredible talent, having the Northern Dark Eye soul physique and Bai Xiang's true inheritance, her foundation could not compare with the immemorial year monkey, which had lived for tens of thousands of years. The immemorial year beast fishing formation was suffering greater losses. The speed of replenishment by Fang Yuan and the others was starting to be unable to keep up. The immemorial year monkey got more agitated by Bai Ningbing's attacks. It started to attack more rapidly. The immortal formation was starting to have cracks emerging. The one with the strongest battle strength. Fang Yuan was not going to fight. Letting the immemorial year monkey attack the immemorial year beast fishing formation was a form of tactic to weaken it first. Among immemorial year beasts, they had different strengths and weaknesses, according to their respective zodiac animal. In terms of strength, the immemorial year monkey was merely mid-tier among them. Immemorial year dragons, bulls, and tigers had far greater strength under the same circumstances. But even against this immemorial year monkey, the immortal goo formation was starting to collapse. Miaoyin, go help Bai Ningbing. Fang Yuan ordered. Fairy Miaoyin nodded as she flew out of the immortal goo formation. Having watched the battle for a long time and knowing the power of this immemorial year monkey, she did not dare to fight at close range. She immediately flew to a distance away. Immortal killer move. Curved moon. Curved crescent moons appeared in both her eyes as she stared at the immemorial year monkey's eyes. After a long time, the immemorial year monkey had no reaction, as if Fairy Miaoyin had not attacked. It continued to attack the immortal goo formation. Sweat appeared on Fairy Miaoyin's forehead. Immemorial year monkeys lived in the river of time. Their eyes were submerged in the river water. The eyes had the most dense concentration of time path down marks. Fairy Miaoyin's side attack was completely useless. Fine. Fairy Miaoyin's fighting spirit was ignited as she used another immortal killer move. Lingering Tune. This was not an offensive killer move. It was to supplement her other move. Next, Fairy Miaoyin started to sing. Immortal killer move. Soft bone music. The music flew towards the immemorial year monkey's arms, and with the help of Lingering Tune, it coiled around the monkey's arms without fading away. Affected by this music, the immemorial year monkey's arm bones started to turn soft. The immemorial year monkey was slightly confused as it stopped for a second and looked at its arms. Then, it continued to send a flurry of punches. Each hit made the immortal formation shake intensely. Fairy Miaoyin's eyelids were twitching. She activated 2 killer moves in a row, but it merely made the immemorial year monkey feel a little confused. The difference between rank 7 and 8 is too huge. Our attacks are simply ineffective. For the last few thousand years, the only people who could resist rank 8 as rank 7s were Fang Yuan and Feng Jiugu in this whole wide world. Similar feelings of admiration appeared in the Shadow Sect Immortals' hearts. Immortal Killer Move. Crimson Ray. Immortal Killer Move. Angry Bird. Immortal Killer Move. Fire Phoenix. Hei Lulan also flew out. She was familiar with the Fire Path killer moves. She activated them smoothly as they landed on the immemorial year monkey. They caused a huge commotion but did little damage. Fang Yuan, Ingwu Xie, and Lady White Rabbit were still inside the immortal goo formation. Rank 7 killer moves, even if they are profound, can barely have any effect on rank 8 existences. Fang Yuan understood this clearly. In his battles against Wu Yong and Feng Jiugu earlier, Reverse Flow Protection Seal dealt the most damage. Fang Yuan used many methods to be able to fight rank 8 goo immortals, but to kill them, it would be too hard. Not only could these rank 8 goo immortals escape, With just Fang Yuan's current offensive methods, he only used rank 7 immortal goo as the cores. His defense far surpassed his offense. If he could not, forget about the Shadow Sect immortals. Only Ying Wuxie's lead soul into Dream was unstoppable. It threatened even rank 8 goo immortals. But Fang Yuan would not use it now. Firstly, fighting the immemorial year monkey could allow everyone to gain experience on how it felt to fight rank 8 existences. Secondly, by defeating the immemorial year monkey in a frontal battle, Fang Yuan could use 180 slaves more easily later. After subduing it, this immemorial year monkey would be more obedient. It is almost time. After some time, the immortal goo formation was at the brink of collapse as Fang Yuan flew out. Immortal killer move, myriad self. Immortal killer move, ancient sword dragon transformation. Immortal killer move, reverse flow protection seal. After several breaths, Fang Yuan turned into an ancient sword dragon. His silvery scales shined brightly and outstandingly, but against the immemorial year beast, he was simply like a tiny snake beside a human. But it was not a problem. Next, Fang Yuan activated a rule path immortal goo. Big, 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 big. Ancient sword dragon's body rapidly expanded. It quickly became the same size as the immemorial year beast. The immemorial year monkey looked at Fang Yuan with deep wariness. Fang Yuan charged ahead and fought the immemorial year monkey directly. Fang Yuan had strength path methods, but his strength could not compare to the immemorial year monkey. Rule path immortal goo big could only make him larger. Fang Yuan was often sent flying by the immemorial year monkey, but it suffered greater injuries than him. This was because the attacks it dealt to the ancient sword dragon were reflected fully by reverse flow protection seal, landing back on itself. This battle lasted for several hours. Fang Yuan focused on attacking while the others supplemented him. Even if rank 7 killer moves were ineffective, the damage still added up eventually. The immemorial year monkey was covered in injuries. It breathed roughly as it tried to escape. It tore through space and wanted to escape into the river of time, but Fang Yuan blocked it with his ancient sword dragon body. The immemorial year monkey was obstructed and could not escape. Eventually, Fang Yuan used 180 slaves. After the third time, it lowered its head, submitting to Fang Yuan. The immemorial year monkey was subdued. After losing his upper extreme heavenly eagle, Fang Yuan obtained another rank 8 battle strength once more. Chapter 1430. Entering the river. Sovereign immortal aperture. Mini green heaven. A huge area of rainbow dream realm floated in the sky. Turning slowly as time passed, a lump of self-will was here, turning into Fang Yuan's appearance. It was very realistic. Within the self-will, there was some red date immortal essence and several goo worms. This is the final attempt for now. Fang Yuan's self-will muttered as he started acting. As the red date immortal essence was expended. At the same time, self-love immortal goo and affection immortal goo were activated, followed by some supplementary mortal goo. Soon, a large amount of self-will gushed out, turning Fang Yuan's self-will into a several-meter-tall giant. After stopping his goo worm activation, Fang Yuan's self-will went to rest for a while. The entire self-will giant had shrunk by 10%. It was more dense and had greater ability to think for itself. Next, Fang Yuan's self-will activated another immortal killer move. This move had no name. Fang Yuan had created it recently to deal with the dream realm. The immortal killer move shined with bright lights, stabbing into the dream realm as if it was made of sharp swords. A few minutes later, Fang Yuan stopped his killer move. The entire self-will giant shrunk until it was a baby's size. The pile of red date immortal essence was almost fully expended. I failed after all. Fang Yuan's self-will sighed deeply. During the battle of the dream realm, Fang Yuan obtained a lot of pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. But on the way to western desert from southern border, he sacrificed a large number of them to block the enemies. After that, the remaining pure dream reality seeker physique bodies that he still had turned back to dream realms when they reached their time limit, as they were incomplete bodies. Fang Yuan kept all these dream realms in mini green heaven. Fang Yuan's sovereign blessed land had the arrangement of 5 regions and 9 heavens. The area was so huge that it would scare goo immortals to death, but most of these areas were filled with resources due to Fang Yuan's management. Only 2 places were empty. One was mini red heaven. The other was mini green heaven. Not long ago, Fang Yuan had chosen to fight the immemorial year monkey in mini red heaven as for mini green heaven. It was used to contain dream realms. These dream realms were all invaded by heaven's will. They were not uncontaminated. They were dangerously filled with heaven's will. When heaven's will lurked inside Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture, heaven's will would be able to connect with the outside world, even if the immortal aperture isolated it. Even if Fang Yuan had dark limit, he would be detected. Fang Yuan had learned this not too long ago. However, Fang Yuan was affected by the investigative killer move of Heavenly Court's Fairy Ziwei earlier, and he did not have dark limit. Since he was exposed anyway, he placed these portions of heaven's will in his sovereign immortal aperture. There was no big deal. Fang Yuan had been thinking of how to use this heaven's will to gain benefits, exploring dream realms, taking the true meaning inside, and raising his attainment levels. This was advantageous to Fang Yuan, especially when he chose these dream realms. They suited him very much, but they were currently being pursued while the dream realms were full of heaven's will. All sorts of reasons made Fang Yuan unable to explore the dream realms properly. But what if I get rid of all the heaven's will inside these dream realms? This thought appeared in Fang Yuan's mind and rooted itself firmly. Theoretically, it was possible, because true meaning was contained within dream realms. When people explore them successfully, they could take the true meaning and increase the attainment levels. And because the heavens will invaded these dream realms, since it could enter, it could naturally be removed as well. Or rather, if heavens will could invade the dream realms, why couldn't his self will do the same? In the 500 years of his previous life, Fang Yuan had heard of a certain wisdom path great expert who invented a wisdom path method to use wills or emotions to invade dream realms and explore them. All sorts of reasons confirmed to Fang Yuan that this was a possible way. But his progress was not smooth, that he used many methods and created immortal killer moves, but they were not effective. Not only did he fail to even touch heaven's will, the self-will's invasion of the dream realm even failed completely. It seems that my advantage in dream realms is only due to rebirth. If I look at it properly, I had no deep dream path research even in my previous life. Maybe when my wisdom path attainment level rises again in the future, I would have more progress. Fang Yuan calmly realized his insufficiency. He stopped hesitating, that he started to use another immortal killer move on the dream realm. Soon, these dream realms turned into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. Fang Yuan inherited Purple Mountain True Monarch's inheritance. He naturally knew the way to turn dream realms into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. Of course, the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies refined were incomplete. And because he lacked some immortal goo, these bodies were inferior to the ones Purple Mountain True Monarch created during the battle of the dream realm. However, Fang Yuan was satisfied. He only wanted to move these dream realms out of his sovereign immortal aperture. Next, the dream realms in Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture were all turned into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies and extracted. Next, under Fang Yuan's arrangements, these pure dream reality seeker physique bodies were all placed into the positions that Fang Yuan planned earlier. Next, he ordered them to self-detonate and turn into dream realms again. These dream realms formed a tight defense that could block enemies. Even if Heavenly Court's rank 8 Goo Immortals came, they would not be able to do anything to these dream realms. After his arrangements, Fang Yuan started to set up the immortal Goo formation. Right now, he was deep under a nameless desert. There was a huge natural solutional cave. The sand here had mixed with gold, forming gold rocks. They were shining brightly. But the most attractive thing to Fang Yuan was that at the center of the cave, there was a tributary of the River of Time, the size of. This tributary of the River of Time was smaller than the previous one, but it was more stable. Using Fang Yuan's immortal Goo formation, he would be able to reach the River of Time using this tributary. Indeed, this tributary of the River of Time was the final one that Shadow Sect had in Western Desert. Fang Yuan started to set up his immortal Goo formation. His formation path attainment level was at Grandmaster. When he was chased by Heavenly Court, he had interacted with formation path the most, be it the Time Exile formation, Self-Cleansing formation, or Immemorial Year Beast Fishing formation. They were all immortal goo formations. These experiences made him more proficient in creating formations. Thus, he set up this immortal goo formation calmly and with great confidence. And as expected, Fang Yuan created the immortal goo formation in merely a few minutes. By Ning Bing and the rest who were patrolling the area were immediately called back. Next, they went into his sovereign immortal aperture as Fang Yuan ordered Ing Wuxia. You can act now. Immortal killer move. Burning soul, bursting luck. Ing Wuxia used this immortal killer move once more. Because of connect luck, Fang Yuan and the rest would become very lucky for the following period of time. Fang Yuan wanted to use it himself too, but burning soul bursting luck greatly expended the soul foundation. He had used it once before, he had no foundation to use it again. Ing Wuxia was spectral soul split soul. He had a deep soul foundation and could use burning soul bursting luck multiple times. But Fang Yuan could not let his soul foundation fall too drastically. Lead soul into dream needed Ing Wuxia to have a strong soul foundation, otherwise, it would easily result in a killer move backlash. If Ing Wuxia tries to use lead soul into dream on a rank 8 and faces a backlash, he would end up in the dream realm himself and be unable to escape. Strength came with a price point. One had to pay a price for everything they gained. The immortal goo formation resonated. Under its influence, the flowing tributary of the river of time started to become turbulent. The waves were becoming fiercer. There were a huge number of myriad self-clones in Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture, together with burning soul bursting luck and the immemorial year monkey that he had done all the preparations he could that he knew that this trip to the river of time was dangerous. But he had to go. Immortal killer move. Reverse flow protection seal. Immortal killer move. Ancient year beast transformation. At the next moment, he turned into an ancient desolate beast as the immortal formation burst out with strong light, charging into the tributary of the river of time and creating a huge hole. Fang Yuan went in. Immediately, swish, 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 huge waves caused countless ripples to form. The hole behind him only lasted a few breaths of time before vanishing. Fang Yuan's gaze was completely attracted to the sight in front of him, the river of time.